Hello dear students, good evening all. Today we'll have a discussion which is related to the chapter called number system, which is related to the chapter of probability. In the last session, we just had a discussion which is related to permutations and combinations. Chapter of permutations and combination, like in modern math, in order to solve probability question, student need to have a skill of or student need to have a basic knowledge on permutations and combinations. So what is probability, how the questions of probability are given, and how can we tackle the questions which are related to probability, we'll try to understand in this session. So look at, before we are proceeding with the solution of the questions which are related to probability. So first of all, try to understand what is a basic definition of probability. So probability is nothing but it is a chance of happening of an event. So chance of happening of a event will be treated as probability. And you take probability of any particular event, probability of any event will always lies between 0 to 1. So whatever the event you are going to take, probability of that will be always lies between 0 to 1. So chance of happening of a event will be treated as a probability. Probability of any event you take, probability of event will always lies between 0 to 1. Probability of any event you take, that always lies between 0 to 1. Always lies between 0 to 1. So, and if you can observe, how can we find out the probability of any particular event? So, probability of any particular event will be given with a mathematical formula as a number of favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes. So F by O will indicate the probability of the particular event. So probability, in order to find out the probability of any event, we can use the formula favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes. And whenever we are talking about any particular event, so remember sum of all the probabilities must be equal to 1. For example, if I am tossing a coin, what is the probability of getting a head? Tossing a coin means we have two chances of getting head or tail. What is the probability of getting a head is the question. So what is probability formula? Number of favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes. So what is the probability of getting a head means head is your favorable cases and how many outcomes you are getting? You are getting totally 2 outcomes. So total outcomes are 2 and number of favorable cases are going to be 1. So probability will be given as 1 out of 2. So similarly, if the question is talking about what is the probability of getting a tail. So getting a tail is also one condition out of the 2 chances. So 1 by 2 is going to be the probability. Getting a tail is also going to be 1. So sum of the probabilities is plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 1. So sum of the probabilities is equal to 1 here. Sum of the probabilities is equal to 1. So this is a basic condition which you can remember. And type of events, like what type of events which we are going to come across under the probabilities, if you can observe. So most frequently you come across the events of tossing a coin and rolling a dice and picking a ball from the container and drawing a card from the deck of cards. These are the most frequently asked questions from these events. So how the questions of coins are given, how the questions of dice are given, how the questions of container problems are given, and what are the tricks which we can use in solving these questions, we'll try to understand in this session. So let's start with the questions which are related to coins. So coins problems. So remember, if you are throwing one coin, how many outcomes you are going to get? You are going to get 2 outcomes. Those are nothing but head, tail. If you are throwing 2 coins simultaneously, then how many outcomes you are going to get? Head, head, and head, tail, and tail, head, and tail, tail. These are the 4 outcomes which you are going to have. 4 outcomes which you are going to have. Similarly, if you are throwing 3 coins simultaneously, how many outcomes you are going to have is, so if you are throwing 3 coins here, So you are going to get head, 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 or head, head, tail, or head, tail, head, or tail, head, head. Similarly, tail, 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 head, tail, head, tail, and head, tail, tail. So total number of outcomes which you are going to get is 8 here, which you are going to get when you are throwing 2 coins is 4. So we can connect with the permutation concept. So if you are throwing one coin, the outcomes will be given as this one gap can be filled with head or tail. That's why the number of chances are going to be 2. If you are throwing 2 coins simultaneously, just making 2 gaps. The first one can be filled with head or tail 2 ways. Second one also head or tail 2 ways. 2 into 2, 4. Similarly, if you are throwing 3 coins simultaneously, the first one can be filled with head or tail, head or tail, head or tail. So the total number of chances will be equal to 8. So here, the point which I want to convey is, if you are throwing one coin, the total outcomes is 2 power 1. If you are throwing 2 coins, total outcomes is 2 power 2. If you are throwing 3 coins, total outcomes is 2 power. So the point which I want to convey here is, if you are throwing n coins, the total number of outcomes will be given as 2 raised to the power of n. The total number of outcomes will be given as 2 raised to the power of n. So just remember that basic formula in order to proceed with this. Look at the question which is available. In a throw of coin, find the probability of getting head. If you are throwing a coin, what is the outcomes we are going to get? Head and head. So here the question is, what is the probability of getting a head? Head is going to be one favorable chances, because always remember, you just go with the formula as number of favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes. If you are throwing a coin, how many outcomes we are going to get? We are going to get 2 outcomes. What is the probability of getting a head? Getting a head is one chance out of the 2 chances. So your probability will be given as 1 by 2. So you can mark the answer as option A. You can mark the answer as option A. Let's look at the second question which is available. A simultaneous throw of 2 coins. So what is the probability of getting at least 2 heads? So very important condition. If it is exactly two heads or exactly 2 heads, there is no confusion there. If you see any condition as at least or at most, how to deal with those conditions, first we'll try to understand. So if you have a question like 2 coins are tossed, what is the probability of getting at least? So what is the meaning of at least? First we'll try to understand. So at least, for example, in order to pass an aptitude test, I need to secure at least 50%. What is the meaning of this statement? So I need to secure at least 50% means 50% or more than 50% will make you to pass in the exam. So at least is indicating what? At least is always indicating greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So here the condition is, what is the probability of getting at least 2 heads is the question. At least 2 heads means 2 heads is okay or more than 2 heads is okay. But how many coins you are throwing? You are throwing only 2 coins, right? So maximum 2 heads which we have to get. So 2 heads means if you are throwing 2 coins, what are the total outcomes? We are going to get 4. What are those? If we can observe, head, 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 tail, head, and tail, tail. These are the 4 outcomes which you are going to have. So out of these 4, so what is your condition? At least 2 heads. That means 2 must be heads. That means 2 must be heads. So that is going to be one favorable case out of the 4. You can mark the answer as 1 by 4. So similar question, if 3 coins are given, how to deal with that question? So 3 unvoiced coins are tossed. What is the probability of getting at least 1 head is a question. So when 3 coins are tossed, what is the total outcomes we are going to have? 2 power 3. What is 2 power 3? That's going to be 8. What are those 8 outcomes if you can observe? Head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, head. Similarly, tail, 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 head, tail, head, tail, and head, tail, tail. These are the 8 outcomes which you are going to have. What is the condition? At least 1 head. At least is indicating greater than or equal to. At least one head is fine, or two heads are fine, or three heads also fine. That means one head or two head or three heads. One head or two head or three heads. So any one of this is possible. So more than three heads is not possible because we are throwing only three coins here. So probability will be given as number of favorable cases by total number of outcomes. The total number of outcomes we very well know it is going to be H. What is a favorable case? We have to get at least one head. So one head, how many chances you are going to have? One head if you observe. One head if you observe. One, two, three. In these three chances, we are going to get one head. That is three ways. Two heads we are going to get in another three chances. Three heads, there is only one chance. The total number of outcomes are going to be 8, but the number of favorable cases are going to be 7. So your answer choice is going to be 7 by 8. Your answer choice is going to be 7 by 8. This is by writing the outcomes we are going with the answer. Sometimes writing the outcomes is going to be difficult. So that time what we can do is, if you are feeling like writing the outcomes as difficult, that time you can just use the gaps like permutation concept. How many coins you are tossing? Three coins. What is the question? What is the probability of getting at least one head? What is the probability of getting at least one head? So because the question is talking about at least one head, question is talking about at least one head. So what you can do is, one head is fine with you, or two heads is fine with you, or three heads is fine with you. So I'm taking them into individual cases. One head means one must be head, remaining two is a tail. In how many ways we can rearrange this? There are three elements are there, out of them two elements are alike. The number of ways of arranging is three. Two heads means two must be heads, one must be tail. In how many ways we can rearrange this? This also 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial. So this also we can done it. This also we can do it in 3 ways. Similarly, three heads are there. In how many ways we can rearrange this? Three heads means 3 factorial divided by 3 factorial. That's nothing but 1. So what is the total outcomes? H. What is the favorable cases? 7. Answer choice is 7 by H. Like that, we can proceed with the solution. Even you have 4 coins or 5 coins, instead of using a regular standard approach, you can use this approach in solving. For example, if you observe, for example, if you have any question which is projected as like this, let's take a question as in this. So if the question is projected as like this, 4 coins are tossed. Let's assume I'm just giving a very simple question just for understanding purpose. How to avoid writing total outcomes, because writing total outcomes is always going to be time consuming process. To avoid that, you can use this one. So what I'm trying to do is, if you have any question, 4 coins are tossed. 4 coins are tossed. Four coins are tossed. Then what is the probability of getting what is the probability of getting exactly 2 hits? So exactly 2 hits means we can just observe here. Probability is always given as number of favorable cases by total outcomes. Because we are tossing 4 coins, 2 power 4 will indicate the total number of outcomes. That's nothing but 16. We'll try to understand what is a favorable case here. So what is the probability of getting exactly 2 hits? See, here you should understand, if we know that there are 16 outcomes we are getting, is it possible to write all the 16 outcomes and check where we are getting 2 hits? It's going to be It's possible. I'm not saying it is not possible, but it's going to be huge time taking process. And there will be some confusion in writing all the 16 outcomes also. So that's the reason what we can do is we can just use the permutation concept in solving. So how many coins you are tossing? You are tossing four coins. So because you are tossing four coins, just make four gaps. So we should get exactly two heads. That means this must be head, this must be head. What about this? This two should not be heads. That means because we can fill the gap with head or tail. If two are heads means the remaining two must be tails. In how many ways we can rearrange this? There are four elements are there, 4 factorial. In that two heads are alike, 2 factorial, two tails are alike, 2 factorial. So this should be the possible answer. So this, if you can further simplify, 4 into 3 into 2 divided by 2 into 2. So 2 into 2 will be gets cancelled here. You are going to get 6 as a favorable case. 6 by 16 or 3 by 8 is your answer. Mark it as answer. No matter, even you have 5 coins or 6 coins, you can use a similar kind of permutation logic in making the answer. I hope the point is clear. So look at the next type of question. So next questions which are related to dice. So let me do one more question which is related to coins. For example, you have any question, 5 coins are tossed, 5 coins are tossed. What is the probability of getting exactly two heads? Exactly three heads, let's assume. What is the probability of getting exactly three heads? So first of all, probability will be equal to favorable cases by outcomes. So we are throwing 5 coins means the total outcomes will be 2 power 5, that will be equal to 32. That is fine. So total outcomes will be 30. What is your favorable case? So we have to get exactly 3 heads. So exactly 3 heads means out of the 5, 3 must be heads, remaining 2 must be tails. In how many ways we can arrange 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 2 factorial? This if you can further simplify, 5 into 4 divided by 2, that's nothing but 10. So 10 by 32 or otherwise we can write it as 5 by 16. That's going to be your problem. So that's how we can able to solve. Similarly, we can also see the questions which are related to dice problems. How the questions of dice are given is, so when you are solving the problems which are related to dice. So if you are throwing one dice, how many outcomes which we are going to get? So if you are throwing one dice, you are going to get 6 outcomes, right? What are those? So you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the 6 outcomes which you are going to get if you are throwing one dice. So the question here is, if you are throwing a dice, what is the probability of getting a so and so number on the face of it? So if you are throwing one dice, it was very clear that we are going to get 6 outcomes. So one dice will give 6 outcomes. Similarly, if you are throwing two dice, then how many outcomes you are going to get? So if you are throwing two dice simultaneously, so two dice means two gaps. The first die can be filled in 6 ways, second die also 6 ways. First die and second die, that will give the total outcomes. The total outcomes are nothing but 6 into 6, 6 squared, that will be 36. So do remember a point. How we have taken a formula for number of outcomes in a coins problems is 2 power n. Number of outcomes in a dice problem is going to be 6 power n. So number of coins you can substitute in place of n. So if you are throwing 3 dice simultaneously, then the total outcomes will be given as 6 raised to the power of 3. That is going to be 216. That's all. So, and you can expect the questions which are based on single die or 2 dice or 3 dice. So mostly if you get any question on single die. So single die question are very easy. See, for example, if the question is projected is like this, if one die is thrown, if one dice is thrown, what is the total outcomes which we are going to get? We are going to get six outcomes. If the question is projected as like this, if one dice is thrown, what is the probability of getting? What is the probability of getting? What is the probability of getting a number 2 on the face of a die? Or what is the probability of getting a even number on the face of a die? Or what is the probability of getting a prime number on the face of a die? So something like this, you will, if you have any question, how to deal with that? If you are throwing a dice, how many outcomes we are going to get? If you are throwing a dice, you are going to get six outcomes. Those are nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is the probability of getting a number 2 on the face of it? 2, we have one chance out of 6 chances. What is the probability of getting an even number on the face of it? So out of the 6 chances, even number is possible in 3 ways. 3 out of 6 chances, that is going to be 1 out of 2 chances. What is the probability of getting a prime number? So 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number. So out of the 6 chances, 3 are the favorable cases. 3 by 6, that's going to be 1. That's how single dice questions are given. So even you can see more questions on two dice questions. Single dice questions are going to be very easy. You can simply understand what is the condition given and we can proceed accordingly. Let's start with the discussion of those questions. Let's have a glance on the question which is projected. So problems on the dice problems. So problems on dice, remember one point, if you are throwing one dice, we are going to have how many outcomes? We are going to have six outcomes. So what are the six outcomes? We are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a total number of outcomes. Similarly, if you are throwing one dice, six outcomes, two dice, 36. So if you are throwing n dice, then the total number of outcomes will be given as 6 raised to the power of n. 6 raised to the power of n. So look at the next question available on the screen. Please observe the data carefully. The question is projected or narrated in such a way that an unbiased dice is tossed. Find the probability of getting an even number. So if you are throwing a dice, how many outcomes we are going to get? We are going to get six outcomes. So we know that probability will be given as number of favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes. So the total outcomes are going to be six. What is the question here? If you are throwing a dice, find the probability of getting an even number. Even number means either it can be 2, 4, 6. So 3 are the favorable cases out of the 6. So probability will be 1 by 2. Mark it as option B. Look at the next question available on the screen. So please read the question carefully. Try to understand the given condition. Understand the condition first of all. Look at the question carefully. What is the answer choice? Answer choice is 13 by 18 is one of the response which I'm able to see. So the question here is a simultaneous throw of a pair of dice. Find the probability of getting a total is more than 5. A total is more than 5. So first of all, you try to understand whenever you are throwing two dice simultaneously. So what happens when you throw two dice? How many outcomes which you are going to have? When you are throwing two dice, when we are throwing two dice, the total number of outcomes will be equal to 36. Two dice are thrown simultaneously. Two dice are thrown simultaneously. Then how many outcomes which you are going to have? So if any numbers randomly. If you are throwing two dice, definitely. So six outcomes for this, six outcomes for this. Six into six, the total outcomes which you are going to have, total outcomes which you are going to have will be equal to 36. Total outcomes which you are going to have will be equal to 36. So, and what are those 36 outcomes if you try to observe? Those 36 outcomes are nothing but we can have a chance of getting the outcomes as 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4, 1 comma 5, and 1 comma 6. Similarly, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 4, 2 comma 5, 2 comma 6. Starting with the 3, 3 comma 1, 2, 3 comma 6. 4 comma 1 to 4 comma 6, 5 comma 1 to 5 comma 6, 6 comma 1, 6 comma 2, and so on 6 comma 6. These are the total number of outcomes. Total how many outcomes we are going to have? Total 36 outcomes we are going. So now you can see any type of question. So the question mostly one question which we can come across with the dice problems. That is, if two dice are thrown, what is the probability of getting sum on the faces of a dice as so and so? This is a repeated question which is related to sum on the faces of a dice. Question which is related to sum on the faces of a dice. So for example, the question is projected as like this. If two dice are thrown simultaneously, then what is the probability of getting two dice are thrown simultaneously? Then what is the probability of getting sum on the faces? Sum on the faces is equal to 6. Sum on the faces is equal to 6. So how many possibilities are there to get the sum on the faces is equal to 6? So if you are throwing two dice simultaneously, sum on the faces is equal to 6 means, so you'll get one number here, you'll get the other number here, but we should get sum as 6. So if I start with 1 comma 5 will be equal to 6. If you start with 2, 2 comma 4 will be equal to 6. If I start with 3, 3 comma 3 will be equal to 6. Because these two are the different dice, even 4 comma 2 is going to be 6 and 5 comma 1 is going to be 6. So what is the total number of outcomes? We are able to see 5 different outcomes here. We are able to see 5 different outcomes here. So probability will be equal to number of favorable cases divided by total number of outcomes. If they are asking us to find out if two dice are thrown simultaneously, what is the probability of getting sum on the faces of a dice is equal to 6 if it is a question. So probability will be equal to number of favorable cases by outcomes. Because we are throwing two dice, the total outcomes are 36. So how many ways we will get 6? So we will get 5 ways. So answer choice will be equal to 5 out of 36. Answer choice will be equal to 5 out of 36. You can mark the answer as 5 by 36. You can mark the answer as 5 by 36. So like that we can proceed with the solution of the question. But doing like this is taking time. That's the reason we just solve the questions of dice problem by using the simple concept. So what is, whenever you see any question which is based on sum on the faces of a dice, sum on the faces of a dice, just try to understand one simple point. Sum on the faces of dice, sum on the faces of the dice. So what is the point which I'm expecting you to understand is whenever you see the question on the sum on the faces of the dice, sum on the faces of the dice. So the point which I'm expecting you to understand is if you throw one dice, what is the minimum number we can expect on the dice? One. So what is the minimum sum which we can see on the dice? That is going to be 2. What is the maximum number which we can expect on the dice? That is 6. So what is the maximum sum which we can see on the dice? That's going to be 2. So minimum sum is going to be 2, maximum sum is going to be 12. So 2 to 12, the sum will be ranging. So now if you try to understand, if you 2 to 12, the sum will be ranging. If you try to understand how many ways we are getting 2, how many ways we are getting 12, and what are the possible outcomes we can observe. So the possible outcomes, we understand that we'll get the sum on the faces of the dice as going to be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. In how many ways we are getting 2? If you observe, 2 will have in only one way. That's nothing but 1 comma 1. In how many ways we'll get 3? 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1 are the possible ways. So there are 2 ways to get 3. In how many ways we'll get 4? 1 comma 3, 2 comma 2 and 3 comma 1. There are 3 possible ways to get 4. In how many ways we'll get 5? So 1 comma 4, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2 and 4 comma 1. So the total number of possible ways will be equal to 4. In how many ways we'll get 6? So 1 comma 5 and 2 comma 4 and 3 comma 3 and 4 comma 2 and 5 comma 1. So the total number of possible cases here will be equal to 5. In how many ways we'll get 7? 7 means we can say 1 comma 6, 2 comma 5, 3 comma 4, 4 comma 3, 5 comma 2 and 6 comma 1. So how many chances are there? There are 6 chances are there to get 7. Similarly, in how many ways you will get 8? 1 comma 7 is not possible. So because 7 is not available, 2 comma 2 comma 6 is going to be 8. 3 comma 5 will be 8. 4 comma 4, 5 comma 3 and 6 comma 2. So how many ways are there to get 8? There is 5 ways are there to get 8. Similarly, 5 ways are there to get 8. How many ways you get 9? So 9 means we can say 3 comma 6 is the first possibility, 4 comma 5, 5 comma 4 and 6 comma 3. So the total chances are 4. Total chances are 4. How many ways you will get 10? So there are 3 chances. Those are nothing but 4 comma 6, 5 comma 5 and 6 comma 4. There are 3 chances to get this. How many ways you will get 11? There are 2 chances. Those are 5 comma 6 and 6 comma 5. How many ways will you get 11? 12. That is only one chance. 6 comma 6. That's nothing but 1. So if you can understand or observe a pattern, so 2 is possible in one way, 3 is possible in 2 ways, 4 is possible in 3 ways, 5 is possible in 4 ways, 6 is possible in 5 ways, 7 is possible in 6 ways, 8 is possible in 5 ways, 9 in 4 ways, 10 in 3 ways, 11 in 2 ways, again 12 is in 1. So there is a pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again 6, and then come back to the 1. This is a pattern which is followed by this one. This is a pattern which is followed by this one. So use this pattern, and I'm trying to understand this, and I'm trying to put it in a diagrammatic pattern. Whenever you see any question on the sum on the faces of a dice, whenever you see any question on sum on the faces of a dice, sum on the faces of a dice is always lies between 2 to 12. That's a one point which we have taken. Sum on the faces of a dice is always lies between 2 to 12. That's a one point we have taken. So sum on the faces of a dice will be either 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, 11 or 12. What is the number of possibilities of getting this? So 2 you will get it in one way, 3 you will get it in two ways, 4 you will get it in three ways, 5 you will get it in four ways, 6 you will get it in five ways, 7 you will get it in six ways, 8 you will get it in five ways, 9 you will get it in four ways, 10 you will get it in three ways, 11 you will get it in two ways, 12 you will get it in one way. These are the number of ways of getting it. So for example, you have any question, what is the probability of getting sum on the faces of a dice? So this is indicating sum on the dice. This is indicating the number of ways to get. So what is the probability of getting sum on the faces of a dice as going to be 6. So sum on the faces of a dice means we just need to understand sum must be 6. Just look at this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is possible in how many ways? 5 ways. Anyways, 2 dice are thrown. Total number of ways are 36. Out of 36, 5 are favorable cases. We can say 5 by 36 will be the probability. Like that, any question which is based on the sum on the basis of a dice, we can use a similar logic in solve. So previously, we come across with a similar kind of question if you observe. So what is the question which we have seen in the previous is? So the question which is projected as in this way. So simultaneous throw of a pair of a dice, probability of getting total more than 5. Total more than 5 means either 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12, right? Because 2 dice are thrown, we never get more than 12 as a sum. More than 5 means these are the possibilities. 12 you will get it in one way, 11 you will get it in two ways, 10 you will get it in three ways, 9 you will get it in four ways, 8 you will get it in five ways, 7 you will get it in six ways, again 6 you are going to get it in five ways. So adding all this will indicate your answer. So 10 plus 10, 20, 20 plus 5, 25, 26 are the total outcomes, favorable cases out of 36. So 26 by 36, 13 by 18 is your answer. Mark your answer as option C. Look at the next question available on the screen. Most of the students has given the correct responses. So observe this question, try to tell me the answer. A simultaneous throw of two dice, what is the probability of getting a total sum on the faces of a dice is equal to 10. Sum on the faces of a dice is equal to 10. So you can remember the diagram which I have given in the previous. So use that diagram in making the answer. So probability will be equal to number of favorable cases for outcomes. A throw of two dice means total outcomes are 36. So minimum number which we can get is 2, maximum number is 12. So and then it is going to be 3, it's going to be 11, it's going to be 4, it's going to be 10. So like this it will be keep going 5 and 9, 6 and 8 and 7. 6, 7. So the numbering as like this. After drawing these numbers, which are ranging from 2 to 12, just give the numbering as like this. So start with the index of 1. Start with the index. Start with the index as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then come back to the 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what is the chance of getting? What is the chance of getting 10? 10 is possible in 3 ways. So 3 by 36, we can say answer choice of probability will be 1 by 12. Mark it as option A. Mark this as option A. That's how we can proceed with the solution. Look at the next question available on this. So what is the probability of getting sum as 8 or 10? So sum as 8 or 10. So as per the previous discussion. So 12 is possible in one way. 11 is possible in two ways. Right. 10 is possible in three ways. 9 is possible in four ways. 8 is possible in five ways. So probability of getting 8 will be possible in 5 ways. Probability of getting 10 is possible in 3 ways. 5 or 3, it is going to be 8 of the favorable cases out of 36. 8 by 36 are going to be 4 by 18, or otherwise we can write as 2 by 9. Mark it as option. Mark it as option A. That's how we can see the questions. So two dice are thrown simultaneously. Two dice are thrown simultaneously. What is the probability of getting the product of the numbers is odd? So when you are throwing the two dice, where you will get the product as odd. So 2 dice are thrown means we can definitely say that the total outcomes will be definitely 36. So what is the favorable chances? You can just observe. Product should be odd. So you can just observe 1 into 2 will be 2, 2 into 1 will be 2, 1 into 1 will be equal to 1, 2 into 2 will be equal to 4. By observing this, odd number into even number will be even into odd will be even, odd into odd will give odd. So in order to get product as odd, the first number must be odd and the second number must be odd. So how many odd numbers are there? 3 odd numbers, because here we have to fill this with only dice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the available numbers which are available for each gap, but we have to fill it odd number. So how many odd numbers are there? 1 or 3 or 5. So 3 odd numbers here and 3 odd numbers here. 3 into 3 is going to be 9. So 9 by 36, your probability will be equal to 1 by 4. Mark it as option C. Mark it as option C. Look at how the questions of cards are given. So cards questions are given in such a way that, so before we are proceeding with the cards problems, if you are, it would be easy to tackle the questions. So total how many cards in will be there in a deck of cards is there are 52 cards will be available. So out of 52 cards, 26 cards are going to be black and another 26 cards are going to be red. Out of 26 cards of black, we are going to see 13 cards are going to be club. 13 are going to be club. So club will be like this. And another 13 are going to be spade. 13 are going to be spade. 13 cards are going to be spade. And out of this 26 red, we are going to see 13 are going to be diamond. 13 are going to be diamond. And 13 are going to be heart. 13 diamond and 13 heart. So this is how your deck of cards will be. This is how the deck of cards will be. So out of 52 cards, 26 are black, 26 red. Out of 26 black, 13 are club, 13 are spade. Out of 26 red, 13 are diamond, 13 are heart. So this is a broad splitting of entire deck of cards. Entire deck of cards. Okay. So look at how the questions of cards will be given. A card is drawn from the deck of 52 cards. What is the probability of getting a queen of club or king of heart? You are going to have A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, J, Q, K. These are the fixed things which you are going to see in every set. So a card is drawn from the deck of 52 cards. What is the probability of getting a queen of club? So how many queens? So how many cards you are picking? One card. So probability will be equal to favorable cases by outcomes. A card is drawn. Out of 52 cards, choose one card. Choosing is nothing but combination. I am just taking it as 52C. So we have to get a queen of club. So how many club will be there? 13 club. In those 13 club, how many queen will be there? 1. Or king of heart. That's also going to be 1. So you are going to see 2 are the favorable cases out of 52. That's going to be 1 by 26. We can mark the answer as going to be option A. Look at the next question available. So 4 cards are drawn at a time from the back of 52 cards. So out of 52 cards, you are choosing 4 cards. The probability will be equal to 52C4. So total outcomes will be equal to 52C4. What is the probability that the drawn cards are spade? So how many spade will be there? So as I told you, 13 spade, 13 club and 13 heart, 13 diamond. So out of 13, you have to choose 4. That will indicate your favorable case. So answer choice for the probability will be 13C4 divided by 52C4. Mark it as option D. Look at the next question available. From a well-shuffled deck of cards of 52, 4 cards are drawn at random. What is the probability that all the cards are of same color? So you are choosing 4 cards. So 52C4 is going to indicate the total outcomes. All the cards are same color means either you have to choose 26C4 or 26C4. Why? Because either you can choose all the cards as red or you can choose all the cards are going to be black. So if you can further simplify this, you are going to get the answer. So simplification of this further will give you your answer. Why? Because let's assume 52C4. Let's assume all the cards are red. All the cards are red means how many red color cards are there? 26. So choose this 4 from 26. Or otherwise, all the cards can be black also because only those two are the possible colors. So R indicates plus, R indicates plus. Out of 52, choose 26. So answer choice will be this. So simplification I am not doing. We can further. So look at the next question. Two cards are drawn from the well shuffled deck of cards of 52 without that one is king red and the other one is jack. So two cards are drawn. So probability will be equal to 52C2. So one is king, red color king. So red color king means how many kings are available in red? So red is 26. How many kings will be there? Two kings will be there. So and the other one is the black jack. So you can just look at like this probability. I'm taking the individual cases. So the first one is king of red color. Out of 52, choose any one. That must be king of red color. That will be 2 by 52. And indicates multiplication. Now how many cards are there? There are only 51 cards are there. Choose one out of the 51. Other one is jack of black color. So jack of black color is also 2 ways. So or it can be the first one is jack and the second one is this. So that's possible in 2 chances. So answer choice is going to be product of this 8 divided by 52 into 51. 8 divided by 52 into 50. So this you can further simplify and mark your answer. So we can say 2 4s and 2 2s and 2 6. It is going to give your answer choice 2 1s are 2 13s. So answer choice will be 2 by 13 1s are 13. 13 into 5 is 65. 66. Answer choice is 2 by 660. Hello. Hmm. Similarly, we can see the questions which are related to balls, like from the container. So and so different color balls are there. So they are choosing this and this. How the questions of balls are given, we'll try to understand. A bag contains 10 white and 8 black color balls. Two balls are drawn at random. Find the probability that they are of same color. Two balls are drawn at random. Find the probability that they are of same color. So total how many balls are there? Probability will be equal to favorable cases by outcome. So total how many balls are there? 18 balls are there. Choose any two out of 18. He said that two balls drawn at random, probability that they are of the same color. That means they must be white or they must be black. So answer choice must be 10C2 plus 8C2 divided by 18C2. This you can further simplify and mark your answer. This you can further simplify and mark your answer. So 10C2, 10 into 9 divided by 2. NC2 is nothing but n into n minus. So remember NC2 formula. What is NC2? NC2 will be given as n into n minus 1 by 2. So if you use this, you can feel comfortable in solving. Look at the next question. A bag contains 8 red, 5 green and 6 blue color balls. Two balls are drawn at random. What is the probability that none of the balls are blue color? So none of the balls are blue color means, so two balls are drawn from the given. So 8 and 5 and 6. Total how many balls are there? Probability will be equal to number of favorable cases by total number of outcomes. So total how many balls are there? 8 plus 5 plus 6. So how many number of balls are there? Total number of balls are going to be 19. So out of 19 balls, two balls are drawn. That means 19C2. 19C2. What is the probability that none of the balls drawn is blue? That means, so none of the balls are blue. That means whatever the balls you are choosing, that must be either red or green, but it should not be blue. So don't choose from blue. So red or green, how many balls are there? 13. So 13C2 divided by 19C2 will be your answer. 13C2 divided by 19C2 will be your answer. So you can further simplify and mark your answer. That's nothing but 13 into 12 divided by 2, 19 into 18 divided by 2. 6 2s are 6 3s are. And you can further simplify as 26 divided by 57 is your answer. Mark it as option C. Similarly, a box contains 5 red and 7 blue and 9 green balls. One ball is picked at random. So probability will be favorable cases by outcomes. What is the outcomes? You are picking one ball out of the given. Total how many balls are there? 5 plus 7 is going to be 12. 12 plus 9. You are going to see total number of balls is 21. Out of 21, choose one. That is 21C1. One ball is picked at random. One ball is picked at random. What is the probability that? That is neither red nor green. It is not red color, not green color. That means it must be blue color. So 7C1 divided by 21C1, 7 by 21, 1 by 3 is going to be your answer. Mark it as option. Look at the next one. So a bag contains 8 white balls, 7 red balls and 5 black balls. If 4 balls are drawn at random from 1 by 1 without replacement, what is the probability that none of them is white? Okay. So we should not get white. It should be some other color, either red or black. Total how many balls are there? Basically 8 plus 7, it is 15. Total 20 balls are there. Out of 20, you have to choose one ball. That can be possible in 20C1 is. Whatever the ball you are choosing, that should not be white. That means it can be red or black. How many ways it is possible? In 12 ways. So that means we can say this is going to be 12 with replacement. That means again, once you removed one ball and you are going to keep it again inside the box. That means again the same scenario, 20 and this will be 12. Again the same scenario, out of 20, 12 are the favorable. Again the same scenario. What is 12 by 20? You can further simplify. 4 3s are 4 5s are. 4 3s are 4 5s are. So 3 by 5 is going to be the value. How many times? 4 times. So probability will be 3 by 5 whole raised to the power of 4. I hope the point is clear. So similarly, sometimes you can see the questions which are related to numbers, like probability questions on numbers. So a ticket, some tickets are numbered from 1 to 50. They are mixed up. Then a ticket is drawn at random. What is the probability that the ticket drawn has a number which is a multiple of 5? So there are 1 to 50 numbers are there. 1 to 50 numbers are there. So choosing one ticket out of 50 is possible in 50C1. So what is your question? Whatever the ticket you are choosing, that must be multiple of 5. How many multiples of 5 will be there? 10 multiples of 5 will be there. So 10C1 divided by 50C1, 10 by 50, 1 by 5 is your answer. Mark it as option D. Look at the next question. In a lottery, there are 20 prizes and 30 blanks are there. So a lottery is drawn at random. So 20 prizes, 30. So out of 50, they have taken one at random. What is the probability of getting a prize? So out of 50, 50 is the total chances. Price is available in 20. So 20 by 50, 2 by 5 is your probability. Mark it as option C. Look at the next question. So a combination of lock on a suitcase has 4 wheels, each labeled with 5 digits from 1 to 5. If an opening combination is a particular sequence of 3 digits with no repeats, what is the probability of guessing the right combination? So a combination of lock and 4 wheels are there, each labeled with 5 digits 1 to 5. Okay. Opening combination is a particular sequence of 3 digits with no repeats. Particular sequence of 3 digits with no repeats. So no repeats means the first one is going to be fixed with any one of the 5. Second one can be fixed with any one of the 5. No repetition means 5, 4, 3. 5, 4, 3. This is a sequence which we can expect. So 5 into 4 into 3, we are going to see total 60. What is the right combination? And what about the previous one? Previous one will be any one of the 5. So we can say out of the 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. This is a right combination. How many are there? Total 120. Out of this, 1 is a right combination. Probability will be 1 by 120. Mark it as option. Look at the next one. Probability of selecting a number. How many numbers are there? 1 to 500. So you have to select a number. Total outcomes are 500. That must be a cube. How many cubes are possible below 500? 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube, 6 cube, 7 cube, 8 cube is going to be 512. 8 cube is going to be 512, which is more than 500. So 7 are the possible values out of the given. So 7 out of 500. Mark it as option A.